There is a powerful truth that almost nobody learns early in life. Your success is not decided by your talent, your intelligence, or your luck. It is decided by your self-control. This one skill can change your entire future. It can make you stronger than your excuses, wiser than your impulses, and more focused than your distractions. Most people never learn how to control themselves. They control everything outside, but they do not control what is happening inside. And because of that, they suffer, fail, and repeat the same mistakes again and again. Today, you will learn the secret that can transform your life. If you understand the power of self-control, you will understand the power to shape your destiny. Self-control is the quiet strength that guides your actions even when your emotions feel loud. It is the ability to say no to things that harm you and yes to things that help you grow. It is the skill that helps you stay calm when someone provokes you, stay consistent when you feel lazy, and stay focused when the world is full of distractions. Many people think self-control is impossible, or that it requires superhuman strength. But the truth is simple. Self-control is a habit, and habits are built one small step at a time. Today, we will explore why self-control is the foundation of success, peace, and personal power, and how you can develop it in your own life. The real secret of success. Every successful person you admire, an athlete, an entrepreneur, a teacher, a writer, or even a quiet, disciplined individual nobody knows yet, has one thing in common. They learned to control themselves. They learned to control their time, their reactions, their habits, their emotions, and their decisions. The world celebrates their achievements, but what people do not see is the quiet victory that happens behind the scenes. It happens in the moments when they resist distractions, when they reject comfort, and when they choose discipline even though nobody is watching. It happens early in the morning when they wake up while everyone else is still sleeping. It happens late at night when they study or practice while others waste time. Self-control is not dramatic or exciting. It is steady, quiet, and often invisible. But it is the foundation of every strong, successful, and meaningful life. Many people ask themselves, why do I fail again and again, even when I want to improve my life? And the answer is almost always rooted in self-control. You may want success, but wanting is not enough. You may want to change your life, but desire alone cannot fight your old habits. If you cannot control your impulses, your emotions, or your decisions, success will slip away from you no matter how hard you dream. For example, you want to study English, but your phone pulls your attention away. You want to wake up early, but your bed feels warm and comfortable. You want to exercise, but your mind creates excuses, like not today, or I will start tomorrow. Talent cannot fix this. Motivation cannot fix this, because motivation rises and falls. Only self-control can fix this, because self-control stays with you even when motivation disappears. When you build self-control, you build the skill of repeating good actions again and again, even when you do not feel like it. When you repeat good actions long enough, they become habits. When habits become consistent, they become a lifestyle. And when that lifestyle becomes strong, success follows naturally. Every meaningful transformation in life begins not with a big achievement, but with one simple moment of self-control. It begins with one no to distraction and one yes to discipline. It begins with the decision to guide your life instead of letting your impulses guide you. That is the real secret of success. Quiet, steady, powerful self-control. The battle inside your mind. Most people believe the biggest battles in life happen outside, against difficult people, challenging situations, or unexpected problems. But the truth is, the real battle is happening silently inside your mind every single day. Every morning, every moment, and every decision, your mind presents you with two simple choices. One choice is comfort, the easy path that requires no effort, no discipline, and no responsibility. The other choice is growth, the harder path that challenges you, strengthens you, and pushes you toward a better version of yourself. Self-control is the invisible force that helps you choose growth even when comfort feels tempting, warm, and familiar. Think carefully about your daily routine. When your alarm rings in the morning, your mind gives you a choice: get up or stay in bed. When someone angers you, your mind gives you a choice: react or remain calm. When you feel bored, your mind gives you a choice: waste time or invest that time wisely. When you feel tired, your mind gives you a choice: push a little more or give up. These choices look small, but they shape your entire life. The stronger your self-control becomes, the better your choices will be. And the better your choices become, the better your life becomes. Your mind works just like a muscle. If you train it, it becomes powerful. If you ignore it, it becomes weak. Self-control grows through small, simple victories. For example, when you resist scrolling on social media for just 10 minutes, you train your mind to stay focused. When you choose healthy food instead of junk food, you teach your mind to value long-term health over short-term pleasure. When you remain calm instead of shouting during conflict, you teach your mind emotional strength. These moments may seem small, but they build up like drops of water filling a bucket. Over time, you create a strong mind that can guide your life with clarity and discipline. Most people lose the battle inside their mind because they expect self-control to feel easy. But self-control is not supposed to feel comfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Transformation is uncomfortable. But discomfort is not your enemy. Discomfort is your trainer. Discomfort is the weight that builds your inner strength, just like lifting weights builds your physical strength. When you face discomfort with courage, your mind becomes sharper, stronger, and more disciplined. The real battle is not against the world. It is against your own excuses, impulses, and fears. And when you learn to win the battle inside your mind, you unlock the power to win every battle outside as well. The power of delaying gratification. One of the greatest secrets of self-control, and one of the most powerful habits you can ever learn, is the ability to delay gratification. Delayed gratification means choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasure, even when the short-term option feels easier, more comfortable, or more enjoyable in the moment. In life, short-term pleasure is everywhere. It is instant, it is tempting, and it gives you a quick burst of satisfaction. But long-term rewards are different. They take patience, discipline, and consistency. This is why so many people fall into the trap of choosing what feels good now instead of what will help them grow later. Yet the truth is simple. The people who achieve meaningful success in life are the people who choose long-term rewards again and again. Just look at everyday situations. Short-term pleasure is spending hours watching videos. Long-term reward is using that same time to learn a new skill that can change your life. Short-term pleasure is eating fast food because it tastes good. Long-term reward is building a healthy body that gives you energy, confidence, and strength. Short-term pleasure is sleeping late and staying comfortable. Long-term reward is waking up early, building discipline, and giving yourself extra time to focus on your goals. In every area of life, you will find these two paths: the quick option and the meaningful option. The quick option is easy. The meaningful option is difficult. And that difference is what separates successful people from unsuccessful people. Successful people understand a powerful truth. Today's discipline becomes tomorrow's success. They know that long-term rewards feel better, last longer, and create a stronger and more stable life than any quick pleasure ever could. This does not mean you must never enjoy life or never relax. It simply means you must learn to enjoy the right things, the things that support your growth, build your character, and help you reach your goals. Delayed gratification teaches you to value your future more than your present impulses. It teaches you to wait for something better instead of accepting something cheap and temporary. When you practice delaying gratification, you grow in many ways. You become more mature because you learn patience. You become more powerful because you learn control. You become more focused because you learn what truly matters. Most importantly, you become the creator of your destiny, not a slave to your impulses. Every act of delayed gratification is a moment where you choose your future self over your temporary emotions. And that choice, repeated daily, becomes the foundation of a strong, successful, and meaningful life. The emotional side of self-control. Self-control is not only about building habits, routines, or discipline. It also includes one of the most important and challenging areas of your life: your emotions. Many people lose control not because they are lazy or unmotivated, but because their emotions take over their decisions. Anger, fear, jealousy, sadness, frustration, and disappointment can all influence your actions in powerful ways. If you are not careful, these emotions can push you into choices that damage your relationships, your goals, and your peace of mind. Emotional reactions are quick, intense, and often irrational. That is why learning emotional self-control is one of the greatest skills a human being can develop. Imagine a situation where you feel angry. Your first reaction might be to shout, insult someone, or blame them for what went wrong. But shouting does not make you strong. Insulting someone does not solve the problem. Blaming others does not make you wise. True strength is the ability to stay calm even when your mind is full of fire. True strength is the ability to think clearly when your emotions are loud. True strength is the ability to respond with wisdom, not react with impulse. This kind of strength makes you powerful in every area of life. It helps you solve problems more effectively, maintain better relationships, and make decisions you will not regret later. Here is a simple truth that many people never learn. Emotional people lose, and controlled people win. Emotional people say things they do not mean. They take actions they regret. They destroy opportunities with one moment of anger. They create conflict where calmness was needed. Controlled people, however, take actions they are proud of. They respond thoughtfully. They protect their peace. They avoid unnecessary problems. They make better decisions, and because of that, they grow faster in life. Self-control gives you the power to pause. That pause is magical. It gives you time to breathe, time to think, and time to choose the best response. Instead of reacting blindly with emotion, you respond with clarity. Instead of acting from weakness, you act from strength. With emotional control, you become the master of your mind, not a prisoner of your feelings. You begin to rise above situations instead of being pulled down by them. You handle conflicts with wisdom. You protect your peace. You grow mentally stronger. And when you can control your emotions, you become unstoppable. The value of time and energy. Self-control is not only about managing your habits and emotions. It also plays a major role in how you use your time and energy, two of the most precious resources in your entire life. Time and energy determine what you can achieve, how far you can grow, and the kind of person you eventually become. But many people lose these resources every day without even realizing it. They give attention to things that do not matter. They respond to every message, follow every distraction, engage in every argument, and say yes to every request. Without self-control, your time and energy leak away quietly, leaving you exhausted, frustrated, and far from your goals. Life becomes much easier when you learn what to ignore. Not every message needs a reply. Not every conflict deserves your energy. Not every problem is your responsibility. Not every opportunity is truly good for your future. And not every person should have access to your mental space. Self-control teaches you to separate what is important from what is meaningless. It helps you focus deeply on the tasks, people, and goals that truly matter. When you know how to ignore the noise around you, you create room for clarity, peace, and progress. Time is the most valuable thing you have, and once it is gone, it can never return. Without self-control, time slips away like sand through your fingers. 1 minute of distraction becomes 10 minutes. 10 minutes become an hour. An hour becomes a whole day wasted on things that do nothing for your growth. Many people say they are tired because they work too much, but the truth is more painful. They are tired because they waste their energy on the wrong things. They spend their mental strength worrying about people who do not matter, arguing about things they cannot change, and chasing distractions that offer no reward. Self-control protects your energy and helps you direct it toward your purpose. When you control your time, you gain control over your future. You start shaping your days instead of letting the days control you. When you control your energy, you gain control over the quality of your life. You become more focused, more productive, and more peaceful. You stop feeling drained and start feeling powerful. You stop surviving and start progressing. With self-control guiding your time and energy, you build a life filled with purpose, strength, and success. The role of routine. Another powerful secret of self-control is the presence of a strong, structured routine. When your life has order, clarity, and rhythm, you need far less willpower to stay disciplined. Without routine, every decision feels heavier. You must constantly choose when to work, when to rest, when to study, and when to focus. This drains your mental energy and makes even simple tasks feel difficult. But when you build a routine, your day flows naturally. Your mind knows what comes next, your body follows the rhythm, and your habits begin to strengthen on their own. Routine takes chaos and turns it into structure. It takes confusion and turns it into direction. A routine is not about restricting your life. It is about simplifying it. A strong routine reduces confusion because you no longer waste time wondering what to do next. It reduces distractions because your mind becomes used to focusing during certain hours. It reduces emotional decisions because you do not rely on your mood to guide your day. Your routine guides you instead. At the same time, a routine increases stability because your day becomes predictable and balanced. It increases focus because your mind adapts to consistent patterns. It increases discipline because repetition transforms difficult tasks into natural habits. When you repeat healthy habits every day, something powerful happens inside your mind. Your brain becomes familiar with these habits. They no longer feel like forced actions or temporary challenges. They become part of your identity. Instead of saying, "I will try to do this," you begin to say, "This is who I am." You wake up early not because you force yourself, but because it feels normal. You study daily not because you push yourself, but because it is part of your routine. You exercise, read, work, or practice your skills because these actions are built into the structure of your life. This is how routine supports self-control. It removes unnecessary decisions. It protects your time and energy. It makes good habits automatic and bad habits harder to fall into. When your life has order, you no longer depend on motivation, which comes and goes unpredictably. You depend on structure, and structure is dependable. Self-control becomes easier, smoother, and more natural when your daily routine supports your goals. With routine, discipline becomes a lifestyle instead of a struggle. The power of saying no. One of the most important skills you will ever learn on your journey of self-control is the ability to say no. Many people believe self-control means constantly doing more, working harder, pushing further, filling every moment with action. But the truth is different. Self-control is not only about what you do, it is also about what you refuse to do. Saying no is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of wisdom, strength, and protection. It protects your time, your energy, your peace, and your goals. It keeps your life focused and prevents you from being pulled into distractions that do not support your growth. Saying no is powerful because it creates space for what truly matters. When you say no to procrastination, you say yes to progress. When you say no to distraction, you say yes to clarity. When you say no to toxic people, you say yes to inner peace. When you say no to unhealthy habits, you say yes to a better future. When you say no to anything that steals your potential, you are saying yes to the strongest, happiest, and most successful version of yourself. Every no you give to the wrong thing becomes a yes to the right thing. This shift is what separates those who grow from those who remain stuck. Many people struggle with saying no because they fear disappointing others or fear missing out. They allow guilt, pressure, and emotions to control their decisions. But self-control teaches you something important. You cannot build the life you want if you keep agreeing to things that pull you away from your purpose. You cannot grow if you keep giving your energy to people who drain you. You cannot focus if your schedule is filled with tasks that do not matter. Learning to say no is learning to respect yourself, your goals, and your time. Saying no also builds strength. It trains your mind to resist temptations and distractions. It teaches discipline. It builds confidence in your decisions. The more you practice saying no, the easier it becomes. You stop needing to explain yourself. You stop feeling guilty. You stop allowing others to decide how you spend your time. Instead, you become the leader of your own life. Every time you say no to something harmful, you protect your future. You guard your progress. You honor your dreams. And you say yes, loudly and powerfully, to your own potential. That is the true power of saying no. Staying consistent. At the heart of self-control lies one powerful truth. Consistency is everything. Anyone can be disciplined for one day. Anyone can stay focused for 1 hour. Anyone can feel motivated for a moment. But these short bursts do not create long-term success. What truly builds success, slowly, steadily, and strongly, is consistency. Small steps repeated every day are far more powerful than big steps taken once in a while. This is where self-control becomes essential. Self-control helps you show up even when you do not feel like it, even when you feel tired, even when motivation has disappeared. Motivation is a wonderful feeling, but it is unstable. It rises, it falls, and it never stays long enough to carry you to your dreams. Motivation makes you feel excited, inspired, and ready to change your life. But that excitement fades quickly. That is why so many people start strong and then stop. They depend on motivation instead of discipline. Self-control is different. Self-control does not depend on how you feel. Self-control is a decision you make every day with or without motivation. It is the internal voice that says, "Do it anyway." It is the strength that keeps you going when motivation is gone. Motivation pushes you, but pushing only works for a short time. Self-control guides you. Guidance lasts. Guidance helps you stay on your path even when your emotions are weak. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. Sometimes sunny, sometimes cloudy. But self-control stays like the foundation of a building. Strong, steady, and reliable. When you depend on motivation, your progress becomes irregular. When you depend on self-control, your progress becomes consistent. And consistency is what transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary results. When you focus on consistency, something powerful happens inside you. You become reliable. You begin to trust yourself because you know you will show up no matter what. You become steady because your actions no longer change with your emotions. You become unstoppable because small daily steps compound into massive achievements over time. Consistency turns dreams into reality. Consistency turns effort into mastery. Consistency turns discipline into success. In the end, staying consistent is not about being perfect. It is about showing up again and again, even when it is difficult, even when you feel slow, even when progress seems invisible. Self-control is the engine that keeps you moving forward. And with consistency powered by self-control, you become truly unstoppable. The reward of self-control. Self-control is one of the greatest rewards you can ever give yourself. Many people think self-control is hard, painful, or limiting, but the truth is the opposite. Self-control opens the door to a better, stronger, more peaceful life. It gives you gifts that most people chase for years, but never find. When you learn to master your impulses, your emotions, and your habits, you start to feel a deep sense of confidence inside you. You trust yourself more because you know you can follow through. You know you can stay calm even in difficult moments. You know you can handle challenges without breaking down. This confidence does not come from luck or talent. It comes from discipline. Self-control also brings inner peace. When you can guide your thoughts, your reactions, and your choices, life stops feeling messy and out of control. You stop fighting with yourself. You stop doubting every decision. You stop reacting emotionally to every small problem. Instead, you feel steady. You feel calm. You feel grounded. This inner peace is one of the greatest feelings you can experience, and it grows stronger every time you choose discipline over impulse. With self-control, your relationships naturally improve. You communicate better, you react less, and you understand more. You do not argue over small things, and you do not let emotions explode. People trust you because they know you think before you act. They know you are stable. They know you can handle difficult conversations without losing control. This makes your friendships deeper and your connections healthier. Your health also becomes better when you practice self-control. You eat smarter, sleep better, move more, and avoid harmful habits. You protect your mind and body instead of damaging them with unhealthy choices. This creates long-term strength and energy that many people never experience because they lack discipline. Self-control develops strong discipline in every area of life. It helps you make smart decisions instead of emotional ones. It gives you long-term success because you can stay focused on your goals, even when life becomes difficult. Emotional stability becomes your natural state, and you begin to respect yourself deeply because you know you are not controlled by impulses. Others also respect you because they see your strength, your calmness, and your commitment to growth. Self-control is not a punishment. It is not something you suffer through. It is a powerful gift you give to yourself. The gift of freedom, confidence, peace, and success. Every time you choose self-control, you choose a better version of your life. How to build self-control. Building self-control is not something that happens overnight. It is a skill, a habit, and a mindset that develops gradually through small, intentional steps. The good news is that anyone can start improving self-control today, no matter their current situation. The key is to take simple, practical actions and remain consistent over time. The first step is to start small. Do not try to change everything in your life at once. Begin with one small habit, one small victory, and one moment of discipline. Each small success builds your confidence and trains your mind to follow through. Over time, these small victories accumulate into significant personal growth. The second step is to remove temptations. Your environment has a huge impact on your self-control. If something distracts you, pulls you off course, or tempts you to make poor choices, it is wise to keep it away. This could mean putting your phone in another room while studying, avoiding junk food in the kitchen, or staying away from people or situations that drain your energy. By controlling your environment, you make it easier to control yourself. Small changes in your surroundings can lead to big improvements in your ability to focus and make better decisions. Another important step is to practice pausing. Emotions can often control our actions, leading to decisions we later regret. When you feel angry, frustrated, or anxious, take a deep breath. Wait before reacting. Give yourself a moment to think clearly and respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. This simple pause can prevent mistakes and strengthen your emotional self-control. The more you practice pausing, the more natural it becomes, and the more in control of your mind you will feel. Setting clear goals is also essential. Self-control becomes easier when you know exactly what you want. Goals give your mind direction, purpose, and motivation. When you have a clear target, you can align your actions and decisions to reach it. Alongside clear goals, creating routines is critical. Plan your day in advance and make good habits automatic. When positive habits are built into your daily schedule, they no longer rely solely on willpower. They become part of your identity. Finally, celebrate small wins and be patient with yourself. Every moment of self-control is progress, and growth takes time. Do not get discouraged if you stumble or make mistakes. Learning self-control is a journey. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes. By following these steps, starting small, removing temptations, pausing, setting goals, creating routines, celebrating wins, and practicing patience, you gradually build a powerful mind capable of guiding your life with clarity, discipline, and freedom. The transformation you will feel. When you begin to build self-control, the changes in your life are both subtle and powerful. At first, you may not notice the impact, but over time, you start to feel lighter, freer, and more in command of your own life. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become manageable. Distractions that pulled you away from your goals lose their power over you. Your mind feels clearer because you are no longer caught in endless cycles of impulse and reaction. You start to see things more objectively, and your decisions become sharper and wiser. The constant mental noise that once drained you begins to fade, replaced by focus and purpose. As your self-control strengthens, you feel stronger, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. You begin to recognize that your choices shape your life. You stop wasting time on things that do not matter. You stop doubting yourself because you learn that you can follow through on your commitments. You stop reacting emotionally to situations that once triggered frustration, anger, or fear. Instead, you respond with clarity, patience, and strength. The habits that once held you back, procrastination, distraction, indecision, gradually lose their grip on your life. You start to rise above your old self, leaving behind the patterns that kept you stuck. Slowly but surely, you begin to feel a sense of freedom, a sense that you are finally in control of your path. Self-control also allows you to shape your future intentionally. You no longer drift through life waiting for luck or chance to determine your outcomes. Instead, you actively create a future that reflects your values, dreams, and purpose. Every decision guided by self-control becomes a brick in the foundation of the life you desire. You begin to notice that success, happiness, and peace are no longer distant hopes. They are natural results of your consistent effort, wise choices, and disciplined actions. This transformation is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the person you were always meant to be. Ultimately, self-control is the key that unlocks doors to opportunities, growth, and fulfillment. It empowers you to create the life you want while rising above the limitations of your past habits and impulses. With self-control, you do not just dream about a better life. You begin to live it. You feel the transformation in every part of your life: your mind, your emotions, your actions, and your future. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes, and the more unstoppable you grow. The final message. Remember this simple but powerful truth. You do not need to control the world. You do not need to control other people, circumstances, or events. What truly matters is controlling yourself. When you learn to master your mind, your emotions, and your actions, you gain the ability to master your destiny. Every choice you make, every action you take, and every habit you form shapes the life you live. Self-control is the invisible force that guides these choices in the right direction, helping you build a life of purpose, strength, and success. Without self-control, even the best intentions can fade, and even the greatest plans can fail. Self-control is not about being perfect. It is not about never making mistakes or never failing. It is about being better than your past self. It is about showing up each day with a commitment to growth, learning from your errors, and taking responsibility for your future. On English Achieve, we often talk about habits, discipline, and mindset, but the foundation of all of these is self-control. When you choose strength over weakness, purpose over pleasure, and growth over comfort, you align your life with your highest potential. Every small act of self-discipline compounds over time, shaping the person you become and the life you are capable of living. If you dedicate yourself to building self-control, you can build anything. A stronger mind, a healthier body, meaningful relationships, financial freedom, or even your dream career. All are possible when self-control guides your decisions. It gives you the power to resist distractions, overcome temptations, and focus on what truly matters. In the end, self-control is the key to freedom, confidence, and lasting success. Remember, the world will always throw challenges in your path, but when you control yourself, no obstacle is too big and no goal is too far. Build self-control, and you build your life.